Abdul and you share a very similar problem. You play video games at night. And on top of that, you think it's fine. You play another game of Call of Duty, and it's as if you completely forget time as a concept in of itself. While others are all falling asleep, you keep saying, one more game, one more game. I just want to finish this. You had a long day after all, and you just want to have a little bit of freedom after that much work. Abdul is facing a very common problem, a challenge that every single person in youth actually go through, and that's called revenge bedtime procrastination. Simply put, in essence, completely forgetting everything you read online. To simply put, in one sentence, is basically a method in which one attempts to gain personal freedom over their time so that they can indulge in leisure activities, which is instant gratification. In other words, people don't have much time as they have their busy lives running, so they use their nights as a way to reclaim that power over their day, to have a little bit of extra time to enjoy themselves. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna come to meet their boring lives, boring days coming up in the next 8 hours after sleep. So they might as well just enjoy a little bit. And you do the same exact thing. You text, you watch a movie, and that movie keeps you up at night, 2, 3, or even 4 in the morning while you were supposed to sleep. This is actually something I went through, and truth be told, I happened to be like you many months ago. Really, I'm not joking. The way I fought this thing is I just implied this technique to get rid of it. And before I come to this technique, I want to tell you that I had this hate, this sort of thing against math because I was never naturally gifted in this world of numbers as well. Although I had many other problems beside mathematics that held me back, like sleeping in class, because the subject was way too difficult for me. I was not a naturally gifted person. And just like you might be not naturally gifted in science or mathematics like me, same thing. I happen to not really enjoy the aspect of coming back home at 4 p.m. because I come from a bus, and then sitting down knowing that I have a math homework, which is 10 questions long that teacher assigns in a online website of her choice, and that I have to figure the answers to each questions because she grades them. And on top of that, 10 questions necessarily shouldn't take much time. But how long did it realistically take? Hours. Took 2 hours minimum. People finish these questions on 30 minutes at least. New concept, they want to reinforce the learning through homework, but I had to use so much time just to figure out each question. Now this could be for multiple reasons, but I refuse to believe that I was someone who was not naturally gifted in that regard, so I'll just push it away. That doesn't dismiss the fact that anyone can get good at anything if they put the time in it. Now, at the time, there was this thing that manifested, this way of coping with hard work. I, for one, always had this mindset where when I was sitting down for math, I always had this back of the feeling of my mind, just I couldn't do it. This push to continually try and finish work, yet couldn't really finish it, was a little bit discomfortable in my mind. Like I couldn't get the work done, but I knew I had other work to do, but I just wanted to complete this. And in general, because it was too difficult, I would cope and make myself do other productive tasks in general, which is cleaning my room often, or thinking about how I should watch this video that will get me new knowledge in regards to making me feel productive, but I'm actually moving towards the goal. I used to always clean my room, which is a very good thing because there's 2 benefits to it. You advance towards making your room a cleaner place, which erases much of this cognitive load that happens to be in your mind. Because think of your room as like a domain. If your room is kind of dirty, then your mind is also somewhat uncleansed. To clean your room means cleaning your mind as well, which opens up so much freedom mentally, which was a good thing. And on top of that, you're still moving closer towards your goals because you're making the things that you're supposed to do easier by setting books that you need to read in a place where you can just easily grab one. Is how I thought cleaning my room meant to be, to make the good things easier and the bad habits harder. That's how I approach cleaning my room, which is a good step. But if I constantly do it, then that would mean I'm just trying to avoid the task I needed to do by inserting a task that felt like I was doing something, but I wasn't really. This is something I want you to take away. I also had at this time many other tasks to do. Math took so much time, and there was also French, English work that I had to do, literature. So I had to read lots and answer lots of questions. And homework was the use of a device to instill that information within our mind. So if I didn't completely understand the homework, that clearly meant that there was something wrong with my understanding of the topic at hand. By the time I just gave up. And you know what's crazy is that I tried to do these homeworks, but I kept telling myself that I couldn't do it. I genuinely couldn't do it. There was just something wrong with the way my mind couldn't wrap around the concepts easily. And that's when I realized this mental discomfort was actually required for me to make a breakthrough. But I always gave up at that certain point. The smart decision to do is keep it up with this mental discomfort and push it through till I make the breakthrough. Although me cleaning the room is me literally ditching the problem at hand, which feels nice, but actually me ditching the problem actually makes the problem even worse because I'm just letting it aside so that I have to worry about it next time. Then when I realized that, damn, I just lost all my time just doing math. And then I ditched the task at hand to clean my room. I had to eat, shower, which takes its own time. So now I'm left with praying Isha, which is the last prayer, and I just had to go to bed. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it because I just ditched the task at hand. And now I'm left with sleeping. But what do you think I really did? Did you really think after a long day I would have stayed and be like, oh, let me just, sleep? I couldn't just sleep. I was on my bed, I'm like, I couldn't understand the feeling of getting myself wrapped around this concept I couldn't understand. Then I realized I ditched the work, so I was consciously aware of all this. This guilt came around, and this guilt was so excruciating. It felt like I should have just kept up doing it. But I was like, it's time to sleep, and I just came along with another loss of my time, another loss of my day. Then I was like, what better not to finish my day than playing games? So I'm there. Usually I watch anime, so I'm not one of the people who play much games, but I was into anime at that time. I used to watch a series called 91 Days. It's like a Peaky Blinders type show, but it's like the anime version of it. I like Peaky Blinders. There's lots of violence and drugs involved. I don't watch it very often, but I watched some scenes which I liked. But then there was 91 Days, which was basically similar. It's a whole different topic at hand. But in that regard, 91 Days, the anime series, is what I was so much into. And you would very much expect that I would take hours on hours to watch a series. I'm like every single one of you guys. I'm like you. And every single person out there. I was literally telling myself, okay, I go to bed. Everybody's asleep, and I'm the only one that's awake. It's like a thing. We just sleep before 12, that type of thing. It's I don't think I've always had parents who enforced, bedtime. So it's kind of I felt more of that anxiety of what if they figured out what I was doing. And this consistently happened. When I actually realized the problem, okay, I was suffering by a very common issue that other people have gone through, and it's called revenge bedtime procrastination. And revenge bedtime procrastination is very simple to fix. You need to first realize the problem at hand. That's the first step. The second step is to realize you're not going to get any extra time. Revenge bedtime procrastination is, like I said, a way to reclaim your personal freedom because you just had such a busy week and a day. You didn't have any time to enjoy yourself. Now you're there on your bed wondering, shouldn't I just enjoy myself a little bit? Just like I was, really pushing the boundaries of how long I can actually stay awake. Then I was literally, my body couldn't handle it, so I just slept. My computer was there, and as you can figure out, my parents figured everything out. So with that said, it's more of this awareness, but also understanding that you have 24 hours in a day. You have all the time like anybody else. Then you must understand it's either you suck at time management, you just don't realize and you're deluding yourself that you have more than 24 hours. You have 24 hours. You have to understand that you need to sleep, to eat, you need to shower, and you need to do work. If you can't do it, the worst thing to do is to delay the task at hand. You need to maintain your focus on the task at hand. If you can't do it, do not clean your room or do not do any productive task. Then you can finish that task at hand. You're gonna get it finished regardless. It's that you need time. Third is do not delay what you were supposed to do. And this is a practical step for you, is apply the 80-20 rule. This is the Pareto principle that states that do task that is only high value and low value. You don't want to do tasks that are not really contributing much to your goal. Like cleaning your room, yes, that's a nice step, but you don't really have to do that. You want to do high priority tasks that really matter. So does math homework matter or cleaning my room? Math homework matters, so I should have stayed here. If I took the 30 minutes or that 1 hour cleaning my room, put it inside the math homework that I was supposed to do, I can still get that done instead of doing this. I have always done this over this because it was hard and uncomfortable. But ironically, this uncomfortableness was necessary for learning. By the time I actually realized that this uncomfortableness was necessary, it was actually kind of too late because the test happened. That's when I realized it fell all over my face. You are basically doing only the high priority task, and 80-20 rule simply means that you are doing 20% of the task that you need to do and you're yielding the 80% result. Proactive versus reactive. The first thing in the morning is you waking up trying to intentionally design your day. I cannot emphasize the importance of being proactive instead of reactive. Let me give you an example. Proactive is you setting up your papers and being ready for work. You're proactively making your movements. You're using your energy towards something that's productive. Reactive, on the other hand, is using your energy towards something that is not useful, unproductive. So you need to be proactive. Set your day with a to-do list. You will crush it. And use of mornings. Now, the 1 hour of your day, it will actually dictate the rest of the day. If that 1 hour is used for utmost productivity and use it for the best things, working out, praying salah, reading the Quran, having a good breakfast, just not doing any degenerate activity whatsoever. First thing, do not open your text, do not do this, do not watch anything in general unless it contributes to your goals. Let's say you're learning. No watching movies, none of that. 1 hour of your day will literally impact the rest of your day. This is literally your superpower. This is what you can take. 1 hour of your day must be carefully protected. You cannot use this to do any of that wacky behavior. You need to maintain your focus. That 1 hour of your day is extremely important. As hard as this problem may be, this is not a problem that is rare. It's very common. And if you're facing it, that means someone else is also facing it. With the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will of course get through it.